Hi, I'm here with
Nausia Woolfolk.
yes, and the reason why I asked Naja to introduce herself is that I was botching her surname every single time. So I was just let her do it. Okay, she will do it better. And you said that it happens every time you're playing
Every
abroad.
country, yes, every country is always a complication with my name. So right off the bat, when they ask, I say it's okay, don't pronounce it, just call me Naj, and we are okay to go. So I just simplify it before everybody starts to like botch the name. I'm just like I'm so used to it. So when everybody does it now, I just laugh and just be like, call me Naj, it's okay.
Okay, but it wasn't the case in the United States, right? Or was it as well?
No, I mean, the first name kind of sort of, but it's not too bad. Like they're really, really close versus like being overseas and they're nowhere like near sounding it out. It's so difficult, it's so complicated. But at the same time, it's a different name. It's not a usual name in the States. So I mean, either way is kind of complicated, but usually in the States, once I pronounce it once, everybody has it versus me being here and I can be somewhere for 3, 4 months and there's still no chance of them even
Yeah,
pronouncing it. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, some words are just impossible for me to pronounce even today when it comes to
but
English. So,
at least you try. Sometimes people don't even try. They just like, can you
um,
pronounce it right off the back? They don't try. They just say, can you pronounce your name? And then, I go and then they try again. And then we try for like 2, 3 minutes. And I'm just like, it's okay.
yeah, that's why I decided to just give up completely.
Yeah.
Um, okay, and your first name is pretty unique, I would say. Is there like a backstory behind it? So,
Um,
why
my
did your
mom,
parents decide on that name?
my mom told me they played a game when she was younger. And I don't know if it's like coming out here, but we call it like the Ouija board. I don't know if you know the
Yeah,
Ouija board.
yeah, when you like conjure up ghosts, right?
Basically, and she basically asked what was the first child going to be? Was it a girl or a boy? Spelled the girl, and then what would her name be? And she told me it came from the board. I mean, I don't know if the Ouija is something I would play, or
Hmm.
like I don't know, but that was kind of like where my name came from.
Okay.
And it's very unique, it's very different, and I haven't met anyone with the same spelling as my first name. Uh, Maybe the way it sounds, everybody think there's a J or something in there, which is why my nickname has a J, so everybody can just pronounce it the way it should sound.
Hmm.
But that was my information as to how I got my name, because I definitely asked multiple times.
And was it the same with your siblings? Because you have six siblings?
Yes, I have
Is
six.
it?
And no, I think I was just the first child that was completely different, especially like when it came to everything. I'm the shortest of all of the kids. All of my siblings are almost, I'm pretty sure, going to be 6 feet and above. So I'm the shortest. Most of their names, I think the boys all start with T's, and then the girls have all different names. Like mine starts with the N, my sister starts with the S, the other one starts with the Z, but the boys are all T's. So I think the boys were more so on the same page when it came to them figuring out the boys, and when it came to the girls, it was more so like, let's just be unique, we're just gonna go out and do something different. So I think that was definitely my mom's idea for sure.
Okay. And you're the shortest, but you are the only
The
one
oldest.
who's a pro basketball player, right?
Yeah. So
Uh,
I'm
How
my
does it
sisters play
work,
basketball.
right?
So for me, I'm the oldest. So my sisters they play basketball, but the youngest sister is 15,
Ah,
so
okay,
she's
they're young.
still young.
Hmm.
My other sister, she's second year of college. She is 20. She just was like, like she's more so on the field. My mom is like a traveling nurse. She likes to do all this doctor stuff. So my sister was like, like with sports and being a doctor, it wasn't gonna, be the same path. So she kind of gave it up. But the youngest sibling, I think there's a possibility she might, play pro. Right now, she's enjoying basketball. She's really, really good. But the boys, they all play football. So that's like a whole nother sport. Like not European football, but like, American
Hmm. Yeah,
football.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I think I was the only one as far as basketball besides the youngest. So maybe she goes, we see, we don't really force them to choose. It's just like whatever path you want to take, we support, as long as you get an education. So we're okay with that. And I think for me, I think I was just the oldest and I was just so dedicated and I ended up here.
Yeah. And did you actually did you have a choice? Because the basketball was put into your hands when you were 3 years old. So
Hmm.
when it comes to life-changing decisions, you shouldn't be making them when you're like 3 years old.
Yeah. So
So how did it
basically,
happen?
at
And
three, it wasn't
yeah,
really forced. I know, like, from my parents, they told me, like, my parents are athletes, so they played all the time at the park. So for them, it was like their natural habitat. I'm just a kid who's there in the atmosphere. That's something I've seen, so it was never forced. I was told by my mom, like, like every time they went, I was always running on the court, like I wanted to play, like I wanted to be there. So it wasn't really put there. It was just like the atmosphere I was in, and I think I picked it up myself and just continued. And I think as I got older, my parents saw that I was very interested, so it became okay, it's not just playing at the park. Like maybe we should, start to train her, see if she likes it. But when it came to choices, I had multiple options because I wasn't only talented in basketball. I was talented in track. I was talented in softball. I was talented in football. So I had options. But I think the only option that I really didn't have was football if I wanted to play because mom was like, no way, you're done. Put the helmet down, put the shoulder pads down. Like, you're not going to do this. You can do anything but this. And I think when it came to basketball, I was conflicted at one point. When it came to me signing to go to college, I was conflicted between basketball and softball. So I think it was really my choice to choose which one I wanted to do because at the end of the day, I gave up softball and pursued basketball. So I think it wasn't really forced. I think if anything, they helped me build the person I wanted to be when it came to growing up to stay focused on basketball. And I think with them, like I can see now in my siblings, like they don't force them. It's just like if that's what you want to do, we're going to support you, which means we're going to invest in these trainers and these weightlifting things and all of this. And so I think it was just my idea is they boosted me and gave me those opportunities to get better that some people can't do when it came to like having parents that was already athletes, so I didn't need specific trainers. Like I had them, but then also as I got older, I had more training. So it was like I was surrounded in athletic home. So I think it was just born into all of us. I think because we're all athletes.
yeah. And
Yeah.
your mom was basically a point guard. I mean, basically, she was a point guard, right? For
Yeah.
her high school team. So
Mhm.
was she your first coach as well?
I mean, when it comes to like, I don't know if you guys have like recreation here, like the little
Yeah.
leagues. I mean, ever since I was a kid, when I first
It's
was
not
able
as
to,
organized, but we have it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think when I think the first age is like around 5 and 6. So when I first got into it, she was definitely my coach. And as I got older, I think she seen how determined I was or whatever. So she wanted to follow me everywhere I went. But when it came to middle school, she didn't have the opportunity to coach me in middle school because it was like something with the coaching staff. They already had their players and their people. But at a certain stage in middle school, they allow you to play high school. You have to be able to have all these qualifications. So I was one of the ones who was lucky to play in high school as a middle school player, and she had got the assistant job during that time. And she was like, "Look, like I see how talented you are. Like I want to be there to help you go through these steps." And the head coach, who was my head coach, was her head coach. So it was like a chain of thing where like they always like she already knew who it was, so she was able to get the job, and it flew. And they both helped me progress to be a better player. So I think high school was the first time she coached me on the bigger level, I could say. And so she basically coached me majority of my years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so she was on the bench when you passed her on the all-time scoring list, right? When it
Mm-hmm.
comes to Peach
Yes.
County. Uh,
Yes.
did she was she like happy for you or was she kind of like competitive about it?
Oh no, like my mom, she's like, if you beat my records. She was like extremely happy. I think she cried and I didn't cry. Like I think she really took it to heart. Like she was like above and beyond. And like me, I usually don't make big deals about things. Like I think after the game I was so tired I didn't really care about it. Like it didn't kick in until like a week or two later. And she was like, do you not realize what you did? And I was just like, girl, I'm tired. Like I could care less. But she was like, she was so supportive. It's competitive in the house when we're playing against each other, but when it comes to like having her records and everything, she always pushed us to go above and beyond. Like she pushed my siblings to be better than me. It's not really a competition, and I'm the same way. Like the same thing she instilled in me about doing this and being competitive, but being a good competitor where I could pass her records to know that she put all these good things into me and instill those into me. It's the same way I do with my siblings. So it's not really competitive. It's more so of be better than me kind of thing. And she was like above and beyond excited and happy for like months, and I was still like, it's okay. Like I got it. I did. Thank you. And just kept going.
So you said that she was competitive when you played with her on the court. Because according
Of
to legend,
course,
you guys played every Sunday
every
when you
Sunday.
were a high school student, right? So did you
Huh?
play with her or against her on teams? Or was it sometimes you played with her, sometimes against her? And what was she like as a teammate and as a rival?
At first, it was more so of we gonna let the older people teach you a lesson kind of thing. Like they always had like her, my dad, and their older friends versus me and my teammates, and we would play at the gym and at the park. And it
But
was
I'm
more so
sorry, it
like
was
the
just
first,
basic pickup ball, right? Nothing
yeah, basic,
organized. Just yeah,
not
yeah,
organized, basic pickup ball. That's basically what we grew up on. It was kind of like street ball. That's how it became so physical. So it was like, oh, like we gonna get the older people, we gonna show y'all young people how you supposed to play, and it was more so like that at first, and then after a few months of playing, she was more so like, okay, well, I got a whole squad. Like she had 6 kids. And she's like, why not take the whole family and everybody play against everybody? So then it became a family thing to where like after the first few months, it was like all me and my kids and my family versus everybody else to like just play and have fun. So at first when we were playing against each other, it was more so of a competitive thing, and then it turned into us playing together and just having it be like a family fun Sunday every weekend and just having fun. So it changed between the two. Like if it was on different teams, it was definitely competitive, but when we was on the same team, it was more so of a fun, just having a fun Sunday at the park.
okay. And she was the playmaker, right? She
Of
was the one like
course.
directing traffic, obviously, which
Yes,
is kind of
yes,
cool because I mean, being a parent is basically like being a point guard because you're putting people in positions to succeed. So, yeah.
exactly. So she definitely was prepared at a young age for her role as a mom.
Okay. So you're in high school and you get your first offer from Louisville, your sophomore
hmm
season, right? But you
hmm
decide to go to Florida State for your first visit. Why
hmm
did you decide to go on Florida State? What was it? Because you're from Georgia, right? We forgot to mention
hmm
that. So
So
what was
it's
it about Florida State?
we did these camps when we was in school. So like I said, when I was in middle school, I played with high school. So we went to different camps, and I think it was Florida State, the University of Florida, Georgia Tech, Georgia Southern was like the camps that we constantly went to. So I had went to those repetitive for years and was at the camps. I got to meet the coaches at a young age, and they were communicating with me. Not really had an offer, but I think they thought because I was coming in, it was enough for me to just see and know. So I think because I didn't really get to go and see Louisville, I was already in contact with Sue. So I think just being there, being at the camps and seeing everything for years, I think I had already processed in my head that was where I wanted to go. I knew a girl who was from the same area I was that went there, and she loved it. So I think that also had an influence on it. But I think it was just being there for years. I had already went to camp. I had met everybody. I knew the players. I just thought I had a bond there already. And not to mention, it was close to home. Like I'm a big family girl, so it was like
Mhm.
if I needed to get back, I can drive 3 hours and I'm home. Like I just needed my family to be honest. But I think also just being there and seeing everything I got to see at a young age and constantly going there for a year, I think it put something in me that I was supposed to be there. It just felt right.
Okay. And as an European, I need to ask that question because you were teammates with Maria Conde back at Florida State.
Oh yes,
What was she like?
I loved Maria. I loved her. She was so like cool, chill, laid back. Her style of play was so smooth. Like she was someone I looked up to when I was there because like she had like this nonchalant attitude, like nothing phased her, nothing bothered her. She went out, she gave 100%, but off the court, she was quiet, but at the same time, she was just like this really nice person. Anything you needed, you could ask. She was there to talk. Like she always uplifted people. So I think like she was just one of like the nicest people I had ever met at the school. Especially for
Okay.
her to be a European, because you know most Europeans don't like to talk when they're in a whole nother place. So I think me and her was like a really nice vibe for sure.
Yeah. I mean, we like to, we just can't because we're like the system, the school system is kind of a bit different. The thing that I
Yeah.
noticed is that the American system sort of encourages you. Whereas
Mm-hmm.
the European system kind of teaches us to keep our heads down, and some people
Mm-hmm.
overcome it and some people don't, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes teachers ridicule you when you can't speak the English, the second language properly, etc. And
Mm-hmm.
it's not really cool. But so speaking of encouragement, the importance of speaking and using your voice is big for you, right? When and how did you
Oh,
learn to utilize it?
I mean, when it comes to like being this vocal leader, I think I'm more so of a lead by example. I'm still in my shell. I mean, for me to be 27 and still in the shell is crazy, but I'm it's difficult for me to have conversations when it comes to like a big crowd, but if I'm being a leader and I know I need to speak, it's more so of I'm gonna pull you to the side, I'm gonna explain it to you, I'm gonna tell you. But I think over the years, I think it has grown into me that people have told me I have this leadership capability. And to me, I still don't think so. I just speak what I speak and I just hope everybody listen, or they tell me like I have this common presence to relay certain messages that some people may not understand from other people. But over the past, I want to say 3 years, I realized that I am that person, even though I don't want to be. So I think I'm learning now that it's better to say things if I know I really can help somebody than to just be quiet and not say anything because at some point everybody needs help and it depends on who it comes from, where somebody may listen or who it does come from and they may not listen. I think I have realized that I am one of the people that are able to talk to people and relay messages and they understand and they see certain things that they may not see on their own. So I think I am growing into that role, just not in front of a group of people, just more so pulling people to the side because the public speaking is kind of complicated for me.
I
But
mean, come on. I still have
no,
problems with
really.
public speaking, and I'm an academic teacher, and it's always like, so it's really, it doesn't go away. You just have to learn how to,
To manage it, yeah.
yeah, not be your own enemy, I guess,
Mhm.
but still, yeah, not sabotage yourself and stuff like that. I
Yeah,
mean, and you're only 27. You're not 20. You shouldn't
yeah.
like set expectations too high for you. We just grow up at different speeds, right? It's where we end
Right.
up, which actually counts.
Yeah.
So one of the things that speaking out probably is useful is defense, like playing team defense. And you seem to pride yourself on being a good defender, right? So when
Yeah.
did you learn that defense is important? Because usually when you're in your 20s, even when you're a teenager, you don't really care about defense. When you're in your 20s, you're like, maybe. But you seemed to
Yeah.
always know that defense was special, that it was important, right? So
Mhm.
where did that knowledge come from? From your mom or was it something else?
I mean, of course, for my mom, I mean, like in high school where I came from, showcasing my defense wasn't really like a big wow factor because of the teams that we play. Like I can go and I can get 10 steals, so it wasn't like it was something that was praised that much because of the league I was playing in when it came to high school. But she always instilled into me. But when it really clicked for me was I want to say when I was like 19 in my first year of college, and I went and like everybody could score and everybody knew everybody could score. Everybody on the team could average 15 or 20 if they wanted to. And I had this one assistant coach. Her name was Santos. And she told me when I first came in, like I would have these conversations with her. She was kind of like my mentor, my coach, the person I spoke to 24/7, or like my position coach. And we sat down and I told her, I was like, like I'm having a hard time understanding like why, like, like I'm not in the first rotation and why not this and why not that. And she told me, she was like, like you look at the stat sheet, you look at the roster, and you see everybody on this team were like the number one scorer on their high school team coming into college. She was like, but what makes you stand out more than anybody on this team? Out of 12 players, how many can play defense? She said, you can play the best defense. So it's like you have to lock in on that and focus on that and only focus on that because at the end of the day, we know when you go on the court, you can score. But if we have somebody like Asia Dur or, like somebody like one of the Mabry sisters who's playing, like, can you go out and stop that person? Because that's what is going to pull you from the bench. We're going to need somebody to stop them. So if you can showcase that you dedicated to locking on defense and your main focus is defense, that changes the script for you because we got 6, 7 people that's in the lineup to go score 15 points, but out of those 6 or 7, how many can we pull off the bench to go guard somebody like AJ Deer or like Dana Evans? How
Mhm.
can you make a difference? And so from that day forward, that first summer of me being there, it went from waking up and going to shooting with the shooting coach to we're just gonna wake up and we're gonna go do defensive slides on the chairs. We're gonna play one-on-one defense with the scout guys, and then it became a repetitive thing to where like I wasn't even working on offense anymore. It was literally strictly defense. It was literally footwork, and I think at that age, it just shifted my whole perspective because once I was able to touch the court the first time, I felt like the momentum shift when I was able to come out and change the direction of the game by just playing defense and focusing on defense. And then after the first two, I realized, okay, yeah, I'm playing defense, my office will come. And then it became a package deal. And it was like, well, how do you keep your mentality to stay, okay, yeah, now I'm on the court, now I'm scoring, but how do I stay focused on defense? So I just took the scoring part out, and I was just like, like when people ask you what do, your mentality is defense, just locking on defense. So it became a thing from, okay, yeah, everybody wake up and go shoot, but let's go play one-on-one, and I play defense the whole time. And at that age from 19, it took off, and it's been stuck since.
Okay. And was it also helpful in you for you to like find a team in Europe that coaches knew you primarily from your defensive play?
Yes, I think so. But then at the same time, it was like they would say both, but then like they would make sure like you still can score right. And I'm like, yeah,
Right.
but I just wanted them to know, like, okay, most players don't play on both sides of the court, so it becomes a thing to where, like, oh, like, can you play 35 minutes? And I'm like, I can, but at the same time, like, I'm somebody that play on both ends, so that 35 minutes to me is like 2 hours. Like,
Yeah.
you know, can you understand where I'm coming from? To where, like, if you want to play 35, you got to understand, like, there's moments where you're gonna have to sub me. But the main focus was when I asked most coaches, the first thing I asked them is, well, are you building your team around an offensive team or are you building around a defensive team? So if they say defense, I'm like, there's no more you need to sell me. Like that's all I need to know because
Hmm.
I don't want to be the only person playing defense. Like I want a team that's gonna, buy in and all play defense. So I think if you ask the past coaches I had, that was always the first question I always asked. Like, are you building your team around defense or offense? And if I got a defense, I was sold. Like that's all I
Okay.
needed to know.
So which one do you prefer, one-on-one or zone?
Oh, one-on-one for sure. I have too
Okay.
much pride. I don't like when people score on me. Like if I'm playing good defense and you get a good bucket and I know I was there to defend it, good for you.
Okay.
But in my head, like I like the challenge of the one-on-one because I want to show you like I'm buying into the team, like I'm here. I want to defend, like I have something to prove every time when I'm playing.
Okay. And it's always the toughest assignment for you, like the best offensive player on the other team when you have the possibility?
For
Okay.
sure. I think it's one of the
Okay.
tough because the majority of the time if I'm guarding the best player on their team and I'm defending that, then it's like the other on the other end, I'm the best offensive player because they have to defend me. So it's like I'm literally playing both ends.
Hmm.
So it's kind of tough, but at the same time, like if it's a good game, like I'm buying in, like I'm sold, I love it, I enjoy it. So
Okay.
it just comes with it.
Okay. And is it perimeter defense or closer to the basket? Which one do you prefer?
Oh, perimeter for sure. But I mean, like even though I'm a little under, the height limit for some people, I still like to
Okay.
bang in the post sometimes. I like it in the post. I
I
like
mean, you
the
still can defend 1 through 4, I think, right? Easy,
Oh yes, for
easily.
sure.
Yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah.
doing it.
Yeah. And your defense has put European teams on notice because you were able to spend 2 years in Portugal, a year in Greece, 2 years in France, and now
Hmm.
you will be in Greece again, right?
Yes.
If
Hmm.
I've done the math correctly. But I want to
Yes.
ask you about the decision to turn pro. So the year is 2020. Was it before the pandemic or
It was right when the pandemic came out.
right
It was
about
literally,
when it was supposed to,
right when
right?
it came out. Hmm.
Okay. And
Yeah.
you decide to go to Portugal. What
Hmm.
was that first year like during the pandemic?
It was really tough because I think that was like my senior year of college, and we didn't get to do like the tournaments or anything. Like
Hmm.
the tournaments were immediately canceled, so around that time, like I was really confused. I was like, like how are we supposed to go about this and that? And so I ended up finding an agent and like we just kind of communicated and she kind of told me, she was like, most players you probably know are making this or making that, but due to the pandemic, pays are being cut tremendously. So it's like if you do go, it's more so getting your name out there. And I was just like, like honestly, I just want to go in a good environment. I just want to get my name out there. Don't really care about the money. Like we can focus on that whenever the pandemic ends. But I just want to go and put my foot in the door, see how it is, see if I like it. And I think she had a previous player who I knew had played there, and she had told me that it was really nice. Like they took care of her, everything. So I was like, like I wanted to give it a shot. I went, I met a few girls. It was a really, really great experience. The coach was really nice. His family was nice. I think during the first year I was there, we had an incident to where a lot of girls caught COVID, and we lived in a hotel for like a month.
Hmm.
So besides that, everything was nice. I got to experience, the different islands in Portugal. I think the second year when I was there, we did Euro Cup and we got to go to Iceland. So it was like It was a really nice experience. It wasn't too bad at all. But then, like as the years went on and I saw different countries and different things, everything just got better. So I was like, I think this is where I'm supposed to be. I started to enjoy more the traveling, the meeting the different people. It became like a habit for me. Like it was a good feeling. So it was like, why, be in America and settle for this and that when I can come over here, get paid as good housing, meet new friends, be in different countries and enjoy it. So I think, after the pandemic ended and I got to get a taste of not having a pandemic and everybody being outside, it changed my mindset to that I really did want to stay overseas and continue to try, and to keep going
Hmm.
and build my career.
Yeah, it must have been really sort of a bizarre experience for you when you like go to Europe and the arenas are silent, and
Mm-hmm.
we Europeans take pride in like the game atmosphere. So
Mm-hmm.
that must have been kind of like strange for you the second year in Portugal, especially when the bigger crowds finally appeared. And I don't know if you had like those people with drums just beating the
Mm-hmm.
drums and fans chanting. That's like that's the atmosphere is incredible.
It's very,
So
very different.
that must have been cool. And
Yeah.
what sort of country did you enjoy the best? What country did you enjoy the best out of the three, if I may ask?
It's a hard question.
Okay. Like what
um,
aspects of each country were the best? Maybe that would be easier.
okay. I'm a nature girly, so definitely I think I liked it Portugal when it came to the nature sense of it. Like the first year was kind of hard because we really wasn't able to do anything. But I think the second
Yeah.
year we was able to leave the island a little more. We was able to go see like the waterfalls and stuff. So that's kind of like my thing. I'm a nature girl. I'm from a small city, so that kind of was like it made me intrigued and wanted to stay. But then when I got to Greece, it was more so of like you get the city views. You have a lot of things to do. I think I met a bunch of friends out here who was able to do all these different activities. So the water, I love the water.
Yeah,
So
you're
I
never
was
too
doing
far from water when you're in Greece, which is so awesome. I mean,
exactly. So I was
yeah.
like surfing on off time. So it was like I learned how to surf. So I was picking up new hobbies. So it was really, really crazy. But then,
Can you
uh,
legally say that you can serve? Because like some contracts have stipulations that players aren't allowed to do certain
I
sports like
mean, like you're
ski
not
or
allowed. You're not allowed
okay,
to do it.
okay,
But it was like, I mean, technically it was towards the end of the season. So it's not really like
okay, okay.
it was at the end. So I think I stayed like a couple weeks after, and I think the few weeks that I did stay, I think I surfed the entire time. Literally, like was at the beach just surfing. Um, when it came to France, I think more so of the friendships I made were kind of like are really strong out there because in France it rained so much. Like in the
Okay.
little city I was in, it was like the people, the fans, like the organization, they were really, really nice. The people are sweet. Like it was just like a big happy family, but there was not really much to do where I was. It was literally like we could drive a city over, go to the mall, grab food, and go back. Like it literally was like nothing else to do. I did get to visit Paris. Like if we speak on Paris, I'm like, okay, like it's really, really nice. There's a lot of things to do. So if you are on any team in that area, then great. But besides where I was, it was I would definitely probably have to choose Greece
Yeah.
out of all for sure.
Okay. Okay. That's why you're back there, I guess. Yeah.
Yes.
So that was a very political answer. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And on the court, which was the best? Because probably on a individual level, Portugal, right? All Portuguese league, first team twice. So good, I would say.
I mean, if we go off of accolades, then yes. But competitiveness, aggressive, like
Yeah.
the way I like to play, I would say France. Like to me, I think it was very physical. Like I love the physicality France had. Like I was playing against players that was like same as me when it came to the aggression, like battling in the paint on the perimeter. I think that was so far the strongest league I have played in when it came to like especially the first season with Gabby, with Marina, with it was so many talented people. My first season in France, I think. So I think France was yes, but when it came to the what's on the stat sheet and the accolades, like all the things I won, it would be Portugal. But for me personally, I would say France.
Okay. And apart from meeting with people, and surfing, obviously. What else do you like to do in your free time when you're not focusing on basketball?
I like to read. I
Okay.
like to create content. I like to skateboard.
Okay.
I
What
like to
about
shop.
movies?
I love movies. Some people say I am Netflix because I watch everything on Netflix. Like if
Okay,
I have
because
downtime and I don't have energy, I'm watching Netflix 24/7.
okay, because you had those how do you call them? Like short questions that were asked to each player at Florida State, and you were supposed to
Mm-hmm.
mention stuff. And you've mentioned that Step Up 2 is your
Oh,
favorite movie back then.
yeah.
What makes it better than the other parts of the franchise?
Oh, I think that was just the best one overall. I think the details, the way the storyline played out, the way the finals, like the final dance ended. I think it was just overall the best, including even the new ones that came out. Like I watched it, and I'm just like nothing tops the second one. Like I think the whole Moose scene was just like I love Moose was amazing. I think that was just like the perfect layout of that would probably be the best of the best. I think they could have stopped after the second one, honestly.
Okay,
But of course, they have to keep the franchise going. So
yeah. And so it's still your favorite movie?
my favorite step up movie, yes. Favorite movie right now. I haven't really been watching movies. I'm more of a TV series girl because I can't
Okay.
stop watching TV.
So
And I think I want to say I just watched a new series literally like a week ago. What was the name of it? I
maybe you
can't
remember what it
remember.
was about and we can just figure it out together.
It was on Netflix. I literally just watched it a week ago. It's crazy. It's coming. It was something about it was a murder in the woods. It's
Okay.
a new series. I want to say it's called Untamed, maybe, but it was a police officer and they were trying to figure out the murders. And it was these homeless people who knew about the murders, but was working with the people who were murdering the people. And it's a really good TV show, but
Okay.
I cannot remember. I think it recently just came out probably like 2 weeks ago, and I watched it last week.
It wasn't
But
the
if you
one
go
which
on
took place
Netflix,
on in Yellowstone, I'm sorry, with like Eric Bana. Like
maybe.
he
I
was
think if you go
divorced
on
from his
Netflix.
wife and stuff like that. And he had
Yeah,
like
he
a
was
kid
divorced.
who
Yeah, he was
died.
divorced. They had a kid. Uh-huh.
That's the one?
I think the the picture on the screen is just like a police officer in the woods. I'm pretty sure it's either untamed or tamed.
Yeah, Tame. Yeah, 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 yeah.
It's something like that. Yeah, but that one right now was my favorite so far. And besides, I think I'm gonna watch a new one that might turn into my favorite. I'm just a TV show girly now. It's switched from movies to TV shows now.
Okay. It's like a generational thing, I guess, because people from
Yeah.
my generation prefer movies because they're like shorter and they don't require the
Mhm.
attention span. Whereas if you want to watch a series, you just put it on and you can do stuff somewhere around and
Yeah.
you don't lose the whole action, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Okay, so just to finish things up, what are your goals for this season in Greece when it comes to individually and team goals?
Individually, I just want to continue to build my career. So hopefully, I have a great season so that I can, move on to the next step. Maybe end up in Turkey on the EuroLeague team. I think I did reach my goal. My goal before coming here was to play on a team that was going to be in EuroLeague. So I actually reached that goal, which probably would have been one if I didn't play EuroLeague this season.
Hmm.
Um, to be more consistent. Who knows what comes? I mean, I might have new roles here, so it depending on my roles here. But as overall, I just want to be like that leader that shows from my work ethic that leads to everybody else on the floor. Like my defense and my intensity relates to everybody else, and to be more vocal. I think I'm going to have a vocal role here, so I have to get more comfortable with speaking. And then I think as a team, I think is as you know, they are a pretty good team already. They have all
Yeah.
these accolades themselves, but I want to be able to get some of the accolades. I haven't won a championship yet, so I would like to have a championship, maybe a Greek Cup. I want to make it to the semifinals, hopefully the finals of the EuroLeague. Those are some high goals, but just to build my character, my game overall, and to continue to flourish as a player, honestly.
Hmm. Because you guys are playing in the qualifiers, right? Or you've already qualified to the EuroLeague.
I think we qualified, I think.
Okay, you're
I'm
already
not
in there,
sure. I
which is
haven't did my
pretty.
research.
Yeah,
I haven't did my
yeah.
own
I
research.
don't remember as well. But I think that yeah, I think that one Greek team already qualified and the others in the qualifiers, or not really. I don't remember. Jesus,
Yeah, I
but
don't
it's a
either.
really big team because we're talking about Olympiakos, right?
Yes.
Yeah, they're like the top of the tops in Greece. Yeah, so they're pretty
Mhm.
big. And when playing in Greece, uh, you've played against them, right?
Yes.
What
I
about the
played against.
game day atmosphere when it comes to Olympiacos? Because it's a big deal. They're like, when it comes to sports fans in general, I would say they are like top five in Europe,
Oh no,
probably.
for sure. I think when I got here the first day, and I didn't have on any clothes, but they was taking me around, running around to places to get everything settled, and they was just like in the grocery store, Olympiacos. I'm like, yes, can we take a picture? I'm like, it was like something I never seen. Like I know in like in these small cities when you go to certain teams, you know, like yeah, you get recognized, but being here, everywhere I've drove so far, I've met somebody who wanted to speak or asked did I play for Olympiakos. And I think when I did play here, the first game they played Olympiakos when I was with Esperitas, I didn't play, but we played at our gym, and I think our gym was more crowded with Olympiakos fans versus us
Hmm.
having like a fan. So it was like amazing to me to see. But then when we played at their gym and I got to play, it was a different story. Like the fans take it so serious, like it's crazy. So it's like
Yeah.
it's a great atmosphere. So I'm glad to be on this side versus the opposite side this year. So
Are they still allowed to, were they still allowed? Because maybe it has changed to light flares during games? Because
I know
that's kind of crazy. It's like a safety hazard, but still,
they say they're not
sometimes they
supposed to.
used to allow fans to do it in Greece.
They say they're not supposed to, but when I was here and I went to, I think they played Panathinaikos or somebody,
Yeah,
and
that's the biggest rivalry game
the biggest
in
game, and so like I was there, and
yeah.
the girls are telling me, you know, like they're not supposed to, but like literally fourth quarter, it's like flares everywhere, and I'm like, how is this even possible? Like you can't see anything. Like I don't know how the guys are playing. The court is crowded. So ever since then, I don't know if they still can, but even then, they told me they weren't allowed to, and they were doing it, and I didn't see any consequences. So
Okay.
maybe who knows? I mean, maybe I'll see
Okay.
this
Sure.
year.
Hopefully you get to experience that and they will love you
Yeah.
for the player that you are. Thank you, Nat, for finding the time and
You're
enjoy the
welcome.
rest of your Sunday. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. You too. You're
Thank you.
welcome. Have a
Bye.
good one. Bye
Bye.
bye.